Good evening, we're from Ukraine. Oh, there's a little mess. Jet is here, nice. Charlie, hey, good to see you. So, we should be together with Jet. Nice. Hi, Jet.
Morning, Rick. Well, late evening, Rick.
Yeah,
How you
morning, morning, Jet.
doing? Yeah.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, man. I'm tired, but such is life these days. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Got a big cup of tea, so I'm good to go.
nice.
How
So
are you
you're
doing?
drinking tea, not coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Well, because my stomach's a little messed up. Like I got like pretty bad stomach ulcers from just drinking too much when I was younger. Which have since calmed down. Like I'm good now, but if I drink like a lot of coffee or anything acidic, like it just fucking makes me feel awful. So I still
Yeah,
like coffee,
I
but
get it.
I can't drink it every day like I used to. So
Got it.
yep,
Yeah. Uh, happy tea.
yeah. How the hell are you
Uh,
doing?
currently looking for a new apartment, as you know, um, because this one doesn't have an air conditioner,
Oh,
and yeah, it's so hot in here right now.
oh man.
It's not the only reason, but it's the biggest one
Yeah,
that that pushes me to find a new one as fast as possible. You know.
yeah. Summer's coming, so
Yeah, summer is coming. So I'm wearing a t-shirt right now just to not be half naked, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Usually I don't do that at home
yeah.
at
There you go.
this time of year.
Might get more
Uh,
viewers. I don't know.
maybe, but not on IG. I guess we need to go to Twitch
Oh, true. Yeah,
someday.
yeah,
Someday we should go to Twitch definitely.
yeah.
I am planning to move there because Instagram is not the best one to stream
Agreed.
definitely. And what else? Um, Twitch is giving me the opportunity to show people something from the screen because I want to show some pictures from this war.
Yeah,
Not only the ugly ones, but also some encouraging and stuff. And videos like I've sent you yesterday,
yeah.
like 100 days of war. Today is 108th day of war, and yes, it was 100 days, like a little
Yeah.
date to celebrate our resistance because a lot of European and American critics and critics all over the world were giving us 2 weeks maximum to hold, and then we was doomed to die under Russia uh, by their opinion,
Yeah.
uh, and we're holding more, and we're gonna win this war. We're really sure about that.
Damn right.
Uh, Charlie was writing, I'm walking home now. I'll be back here in 10 or so minutes.
Cool.
See you guys then. Nice.
Sweet.
And he was, after that, he typed only fans, but in Russian. So yeah, when I was saying about my T-shirt,
Yeah, there you go.
he recommended me the OnlyFans.
Oh, jeez. That's awesome.
By the way, Charlie is from Britain,
Okay.
and my friend who immigrated there because of the war.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I, I don't know if she went there temporarily or just for
For
mm,
good? Permanently?
for good, yeah,
Yeah.
or permanently.
Yeah.
Um, but she says, she tells us something about Britain every day. We have a chat in Telegram,
Cool.
like a friend's chat,
Yeah.
and she's saying that they had like no, that they didn't have. They are currently learning Ukrainian.
Oh, nice.
A lot of British people are
Hmm.
currently learning Ukrainian. Britain, with their leader Boris Johnson, are giving us one of the biggest supports in this war, in all fronts of it, and we're really grateful to British people. We know that they are one of our best allies. Like, I guess Poland and Britain is two of the biggest allies of
Yeah,
ours.
that's cool.
There are some other great countries who's supporting us and really is with us, like fully with us. But yeah, these two countries are the best supporters. So I'm grateful. This is why I was starting with Charlie. He was saying to me, he was writing to me like a couple of streams back.
Hmm.
He said that he he didn't say. He sent me some phrases in Ukrainian and said that he's learning Ukrainian too. So this gives me the idea that some British people are learning Ukrainians. It's not the only person.
Yeah,
I'm hearing about them here and there. So yeah,
that's really
that's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. Good
Yeah,
for solidarity. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're getting pretty popular around the world. Yes, of course, because of the war. But our culture is actually, and language is part of our culture. It's really, you know, wholesome and big and unique, and there's a lot to learn. So yeah,
Yeah.
we we offer our culture to the world
We
right now.
appreciate it. We appreciate it. That's the thing too, is like, for a lot of us, probably, like myself included, I mean, that's the thing, is I have friends with like Ukrainian ancestry, but not friends that ever lived in the Ukraine or anything like that, right? But like one of my best friends, James Kopetsky, his family's Ukrainian, his family's from Ukraine, but he's never been there. Doesn't really know anything about Ukrainian culture. So, but I think for a lot of people, especially people with that heritage, like my friend James, like this is kind of like a not only a wake up call, but like just a learning opportunity, as shitty of one as it is. But I've definitely noticed like more interest in Ukrainian culture just because of us being, reminded essentially that you guys are over there existing or trying to at this point.
Yeah.
So
I actually also think that it's a natural process because our culture is in danger of extinction and
mm,
destruction by Russia right now because they really don't think that we're a nation.
yeah,
They think our culture, our language should be just dismissed and forgotten.
mm,
Uh, so I guess not only like it's something maybe like a social process.
yeah,
Like not only we started to spread more of our culture and trying to embrace maybe is not the word, but we're trying to hold it close and
yeah.
we're
Appreciate it,
protecting
protect
and
it. Yeah,
appreciating. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Uh, but also other countries, maybe not even consciously, the people of other countries, when they see the danger of destruction of some culture, they're trying to learn about this
Yeah,
country more. they're getting interested. So yeah, I think it's kind of natural process.
Yeah,
It's
and
pretty
it's
cool.
cool. It's cool to see too, because like that's the thing is when an entire culture is at risk like that, it's nice to see the natural just embracement of it throughout other cultures, right? Because that's the thing too is
Yeah,
like it's not like there's no Ukrainians here. Like there's Ukrainian dance halls and stuff in the city I live in. There's Ukrainian delis and stuff all over the place, right? So it's not like there's no Ukrainians here. Like it's
yeah, I know.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know, but that's the thing is like it's just not really a culture that's always been at the top of people's minds until now, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's beautiful to see so many people embracing it, preserving it.
yeah. This is really cool, and yeah, the reason of that is very tragic and sad,
Yeah,
but some of the consequences of this war um, are really good, because let's see it that way. Yes, it's a tragedy, but we gotta focus on some good things that are still coming out of this tragedy. So
yeah.
this is one of those good things. And about the Ukrainian, do you have a word, diaspora? Maybe
No.
no, you don't have it. The community, okay, Ukrainian community
Yeah.
that lives in Canada. Uh, it's one of the biggest in the world. I know that Canada holds uh, maybe even the biggest number of Ukrainians in the world.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that. I don't know about this statistically or anything. I don't know numbers, but that doesn't surprise me. Just because every Canadian city I've been to of any size has a Ukrainian community and Ukrainian halls, and like that's the thing too is like it appears when Ukrainians move here or move to another country, they try to preserve their Ukrainian culture wherever they are, which is another important thing too. And that's really come to light during this whole situation.
yeah, I remember something about this, the size of the community. I remember when I was a student, I saw some information about the numbers, some statistics,
Yeah.
and I think Canada was first, maybe around 10 years ago. It
Yeah,
was
probably.
for the biggest community in the world.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And yeah, I know I actually am, me personally, I am seeing Canada. I've never been there,
Mhm.
but I'm seeing in my mind that Canada is one of the uh, mm, most. Let me remember the English word.
Yeah.
Just a second. Um, I remember the Ukrainian one. uh, let's learn Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. My cogs are
Yeah, that's
spinning.
okay, man. Take your time.
um,
I'll just
shit.
interject quickly. There's 1.36 million Ukrainians in Canada.
1.6. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is huge. One
Yeah.
and a half. Okay, I'm going to translator just a second.
Yeah. Thanks.
Because I didn't remember it. Okay. Attractive.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
In my mind, Canada is one of the most приваблива Ukrainian word
Yeah, cool.
for attractive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of the most attractive countries to live on, to immigrate to,
Yeah.
and because you have super low crime, those statistics, or how do you call it?
Yeah.
Crime
Yeah.
level.
Crime rate.
Crime rate, yes.
Yeah.
Crime rate, you have a beautiful, beautiful nature there.
Yes.
I guess you also have and also some social security systems or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
with I mean, with its flaws, like anything else, but definitely far ahead of a lot of other countries for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, you're in front of that. So yeah, I guess this is why a lot of people want to immigrate. This is why Ukrainians chose Canada as one of the biggest
yeah,
destination points for them.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's cool too. And like obviously you get there's like as with any country, you get the Canadians that are anti-immigration and don't want anybody else in the country and whatever, right? But for the most part, the general population of Canada, most people are pretty welcoming to other cultures and stuff. Like whenever there is a crisis like this, like where the general consensus is get them over here where it's safe. You know what I mean? Like, which is cool. That's one thing I like about Canada is we're a pretty welcoming bunch. I mean, there's lots of idiots here too, obviously, like anywhere, but
yeah.
in general,
We are we have a great number of idiots here too, actually.
yeah,
A lot of people in the world are idealizing our nation, like, wow,
yeah,
you're the bravest nation, you're so amazing. Come on, we have our idiots here too,
yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
we're not the perfect nation.
No,
Yes, we're pretty brave, but as I told you before, I think in the brink of destruction and total annihilation, most
yeah,
nations will be so brave.
exactly. When you have to be, you are, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We're lucky to have a brave and really principle. No, principle. Let me check the translator. Uh, Principled leader.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's
Uh,
something, yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
this is actually a huge achievement for us because before this president, we had a few presidents that were not that principled, and
Yeah,
they were typical politicians who will sell their people and their countries to some greedy needs. Not all. Let's say some of them weren't fully that bad, but they weren't that good as Zelensky. So
yeah,
we're really lucky to have him right now in the moment of this crisis, of
yeah,
this terrible war.
absolutely.
Jed, I wanted to take a look at the question that Charlie
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
typed. Jed, did you hear about the new Canadian YouTube law? He was asking you.
No, I did not.
Yeah, so maybe Charlie will tell us about this
Yeah,
law.
fill me in.
So I was saying, no, I ended what I was saying, but oh, I remember what I was wanted to say. Yes, the problem of immigration is actually one of the biggest problems that we're facing right now during the war.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the huge problem is to keep Ukraine attractive to our people. So when the war is over, people can, I hope not many, but they can start uh, to immigrate more, and they will want to leave the country because there's still some people who is indifferent to the problems of the country, and they are thinking only about themselves. And yes, this will happen to some people. I'm not sure about the percentage of our people who's who will leave the country as soon as we uh, as soon as this war ends. But
Yeah.
Um, I guess there's kind of maybe 5% for sure.
Yeah. Which is a
So
big hit to any population. Like that's fucking no matter what your population is, 5% is a lot of fucking people, like comparatively, you know?
yeah,
That's
we have. Yeah, by the way, the number of our population before the war was 40 million. We have almost. Let me let me check. We have 12 million displaced people. Not all of them from our country, but from their homes.
yeah.
And around 5 or 6 million displaced from the country. So we already have like 5 million from 40 million is 20. No, no, not 20. It's 10. No, it's 12%. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So 12% of our population has already left the country.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a huge number, and more than 25% of our population left their homes. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
That's yeah, the amount of displacement. That's like because you know like every single one of those people and every single one of those families have to go somewhere to live, right? Like, so what does this cause? Like economic strife in immigration in other countries in Europe, or like that's the thing is like because you know one person's problem becomes the guy next door's problem regardless, right? Like, um,
Yeah,
so I mean that's not to say like you know they shouldn't be welcoming you guys because in my opinion they should but there's always you know just due to the nature of politics and red tape and fucking bureaucracy, any decision being made on any of these issues takes way longer than it fucking needs to, right? So then that
yeah,
then puts the people that need these decisions made for them in fucking a state of limbo in a lot of cases where they don't know where they're going, their future's uncertain, and that can be extremely taxing, you know, mentally on people, right? So not a good thing.
yeah, yeah. There's definitely. We actually have. I mean, most of the trials is ahead of us because it's only the beginning of the economic crisis, huge
Yeah,
one in our
yeah,
country because our economic is crippled right now. It's holding on only thanks to how our politicians say. And I'm not the economist myself, so I cannot confirm
mm-hmm.
this, but they're saying that only help of European countries and American financial help is giving us the um, sustainability of our
Yeah,
economics.
yeah,
Yes. So if not that help, we'd be already suffering a lot.
yeah,
We're already suffering, but the problems would be much bigger and much harder, and we still need to, because it's easy to explain even physically because like 25% of our country is occupied right now.
yeah,
So no plant, if it somehow can be, um, you know, stay safe
yeah,
and not destroyed by
yeah,
Russian military machine. It's not working. So people lost their jobs, and our country lost the taxes from those companies.
mm-hmm.
And it happened to, I guess, around 40% of all our businesses went down.
Yeah,
It's just crazy for the economics. And yeah, the crisis will still be on board for years because we need to rebuild some plants. We need
yeah.
to get people back on. It's not that fast. It's not. It
No.
can be done
Well, and
in a
that's
couple of months.
exactly. And the other thing on top of that is, you know, the like the actual physical rebuilding of the economic infrastructure. Once that's all done, you still suffer for a long time of the, you know, the rebuild of your like economic platform, right? Because like in times like this, it usually causes inflation, shit like that. A lot of like economic hardships that take a lot more time to even themselves out, right? Than just getting the plants running and getting people back to work. Because then there's the following, like, you know, inflated currency, recession, all that shit too. So it's usually a long process, from what I understand. You know, I'm obviously not a fucking historian or anything, but just from what I've read about other countries that have been in similar situations and stuff in the Middle East and Africa and whatnot, right?
Yeah, it's a long process, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And yes, about that, about our economic problems, our country, our government, and all the institutions are really holding good because we have our banking system is working perfectly fine. Our electronic papers, we're the first country in the world who made their passports in the phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we are really good at that. We have the Ministry of, they call it Digital Ministry. So
Gotcha.
they're simplifying all that bureaucracy to just you're going into your phone. If you need some paper, you just go into your phone. You get your data there. It's super simple.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make every process in our country like that. And
Yeah.
with this war, we got a lot of stuff digitalized
Yeah.
lately. So they are simplifying all those procedures, and we're getting ahead. And yeah, I must say that we're having a great results during this terrible and destructive war. Our institutions are working perfectly fine. Well, not maybe perfectly, but super fine for
Yeah.
such a crisis. So I must say that we have a lot of groceries in the stores. Well,
Yeah.
not only on the occupied territories, of course, but in the rest of the country that is not military. Well, not like that. Is not occupied and not in a hot zone where the
Yeah. Not like
battles
currently under siege or anything.
on the siege, battles aren't taking place in here. It's much harder there where battles are, but here
Yeah.
we're not that bad. So our government is capable, and we're gonna get through any crisis. But someday it will be harder, then maybe better again. But yeah, we still need to be ready for some new crises.
Yeah.
We missed some messages from Charlie, so let's maybe get back to them.
Yeah.
He was saying it was the one saying that content made by Canadians had to be Canadian enough. People were saying it's quite controversial.
Oh, wow. I hadn't heard about that. This is pretty new.
It's not great for smaller countries like Moldova. Other larger and richer countries nearby like Romania, it's fine.
That's probably
I don't know.
that was probably regarding our immigration talk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And new messages. And yet the Russians think it's unfair that their local McDonald's shut down. Oh, those Russians. Man, we haven't been talking about Russians. I mean, the simple Russians, not orcs, not soldiers, but those who live in Russia. We haven't been touching this topic even once, right?
No, for sure. Did we get into that?
They're so brainwashed. Let's read the rest of the messages by Charlie and then go back to Russians.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was about immigration, not Canadian law.
Hasn't the US and UA already pledged to completely rebuild the Ukrainian economy when Ukraine went? Yes, they pledged, but politicians change,
Exactly. And
and their agendas change in time. So if this war will continue for, let's say, I don't want this to be long at all. I mean, even if it will last for, let's say, 6 months or 9 months, some politicians in countries can change, and some countries can just stop giving the support. So yeah, this process is maybe at risk. Okay, let me see. I have the request from Brandon to join. What do you say, Jed, if
oh, of
we
course. Yeah.
let him in?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, the request is gone. So, Brandon, if you want to do it again, just send the request again. Okay, so when Ukraine went, that was about immigration, yes, not Canadian law. Okay. Have you seen the channel 1420 on YouTube? The guy asks questions about the war to opened in Moscow. Maybe I did, but I'm not sure that it's from that channel. I'll check it. Thank you, Charlie. I'll check this one. So about Russians, they're yes, there's such a syndrome. Let me check the translation if it is. Learned helplessness syndrome. Do you know this one?
Well, I know what those words mean, so I can pretty much.
Yeah. So it's the good example that is usually used to explain this syndrome is the frog in the boiling water. If you put the frog in a boiling water right away, it will feel the pain. It will try to jump out, or maybe it will just die in there. But if you put the frog in a cold water and start boiling it bit by bit, the frog will just die in there, and it will not even notice that she is already in the boiling water. So what happened to Russian people, that they were taking all of their human rights bit by bit in 20 years, and now they're just living in this helplessness. They are thinking that they are not capable of anything. They're saying, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, when they're being asked what something, at least something about this war, they're saying, oh, we're a simple people. We don't know nothing about politics. We don't want to talk about it. They're been learned to be voiceless, learned to be learn to have no initiative, learn to have to being controlled, and they actually most of them don't want to have this freedom, because freedom is responsibility.
Yep.
And yes, they are just want to be guided by their politicians who are just fascists these days.
Yeah.
And we here in Ukraine, we're really disappointed by Russians. We're really angry at them. We don't want to we don't want to tell them anything and try to convince them in this truth. Mm-hmm. Because most of Ukrainians tried. First months, maybe 2 months of this war, Ukrainians try to convince Russians that their government is killing us, but they don't want to believe that. They just cannot take the fact that their country is a fascist country
Yeah.
and that they are supporting this regime. So, but it's not like this syndrome of learned helplessness is not giving them an excuse to
No.
support all of this. So we're here, we're Ukrainians, most of us. We think that it is their responsibility, and it's their choice, conscious or unconscious. It doesn't matter. It's their choice to support this war, to not stand up for their rights and not stand up against this war. So most of the people here are just hating them for this, and I guess it's pretty deservable.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that such a word exists.
Yeah. And that responsibility you're talking about, there is an English word for that. It's called epistemic responsibility. And what that is essentially it's the responsibility of your beliefs, right? Like it's the responsibility of how your belief system allows you to interact with the world around you, right? So if you have irresponsible beliefs and that leads you to act irresponsibly because you're acting on your belief system, then you have poor epistemic responsibility, right? So.
Yeah. And all those complaints of them about McDonald's gone and shops gone and everything gone is such a small price for them to pay for this, for what they did, what their silent support of this regime did to our country, did to our people. It's just yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you think you deserve a Big Mac right now? Fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someday, me personally, and I hear this a lot more from other people. They want Russia to feel everything and to experience everything that our people experienced here in Ukraine, so that we, alliance countries in World War II, just came to Berlin, in Germany and Nazi Germany. Some of us want to come to Moscow and take that regime down, because actually now we see, and on 4 months of war, we see that this regime will not stop when this war stops.
No.
We can. It's going to be really hard. It's going to cost more losses in human. I mean, in people.
Mm-hmm.
It will be more losses of our soldiers, of our civilians, but we are capable. In time, it also depends on number of weapons that will be sent to help us. But we will take back our territories. We will definitely restore our sovereignty and our territorial wholeness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And but it doesn't mean that Russian regime will fall. It actually means we actually don't know what will happen there, because we were hoping for Putin's regime to fall from inside. I mean, we were hoping, but in time, that months after months, we see that those elites, they don't have enough motivation. They don't have enough guts to put Putin down and just end this war. Actually, the problem is they are like him. He's not alone.
No,
He's not a puppet master who's controlling all those politicians. They're not his hostages. They're like him. They're fucking imperialists.
yeah,
They are just they want to conquer countries around the world. It's not only his ambitions. A lot of people think that if they put Putin down, it will be then this war will end and Russia will just fall apart. No, it won't, because people they're not ready to put their government down. They're not ready for changes. Most of them, they just don't care. They don't care what regime. They're saying, one of the biggest, actually, let me translate the word, I forgot. Um, Tolerate?
tolerant. Yeah,
No, not tolerant. Bear, maybe bear is the word. They're saying such a phrase. When they are asked, do you feel the consequences of sanctions? Well, they are answering, yes, it's really harder to live, but we bore, maybe
yeah,
bear,
yeah,
we,
yeah,
we bore the Soviet Union times. It was really hard, but we bore it, and we lived through that somehow, and we're gonna live through this too. We will bear.
yeah,
So they are just they're just are ready to bear anything. They're
yeah,
ready to bear the Middle Ages, because Russia is going to Middle Ages right now,
yeah,
and they're fine with that. Some of them are really happy that Soviet Union is back, because
yeah,
uh, half of Russia is people who lived in Soviet Union and who idealized that. And Putin's propaganda really helped to idealize even more the Soviet Union.
yeah,
And they convinced their people that Soviet Union is something that they need to restore, and they will live like not better than now. Most of Russians weren't living better than in Soviet Union.
no,
That's the problem. Because for some of them, nothing really will change, because they didn't see any good in this life, and they will bear their suffering to the grave, and they will be okay with that, but because that's how they used to live.
yeah,
So this is a nation of bearers. These people will bear anything, and this is why the chance of Russia falling apart, like some people saying, oh, there will be not that huge Russia, it will be some countries, like 5 countries, maybe more,
yeah, nation
throughout
state.
Russia.
Yeah,
Who the fuck will lead those nations
exactly. Well, and that's
to
the thing.
revolt?
Yeah, that's the thing too. And like another thing that I've thought about is like, yeah, okay, so if somebody does kill Putin or Putin dies from whatever reason, you got to think there's a dozen guys waiting to take his spot that have the same ideals as him, right? Like
Yeah.
you got to think. I mean, as with most
Well,
power structures, everybody wants the spot at the top of the totem pole, right? Like,
because some of them were really dependent on their wealth, like their oligarchs. They
yeah,
were dependent on their internal wealth, external, not
yeah,
internal, and they're suffering right now. Not that big, because some of them are still keeping half of their wealth,
mhm,
and but there's a lot of imperialists who will just be good with draining Russia and its resources, and they don't need those external wealth.
no,
There's, I think, a lot of people. in their elites will be good with just exploiting Russia and Russian people to the end, like in North Korea.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are not going to stop here. They will go to mass repressions. They will go to prison camps. They're already making them. I mean, for their own people.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be North Korea. In a big, it's a big chance of that. But yeah, but this war is still not ended. It still can bring some surprises. We still need more fucking weapons.
Yeah.
Our government started to tell us and tell the world the numbers of our casualties that were taken of our soldiers. It's 50 to from 50 to 200 people per day. We're losing 100 or 200 soldiers per day in this war. And yeah, per day. And like, so every day that our partners are slowing down the shipments of weapons that they promised.
Yeah.
That not the ones that were demanding,
Yeah.
but actually we don't have a right to demand anything because they don't owe us anything. It's just like, you know, it's for defending their values.
Yeah.
That's how they are motivated to help us.
Yeah.
Some of our neighbors are helping just because they fully understand us, like Poland or Latvia, Slovakia, because they know that they're going to be next. But those who know that they're not going to be next, they're just don't value those casualties, those people, because they're not just casualties. They're our people, and it's only numbers for them, but it's persons for us.
Yeah.
And the problem is that some countries promised a lot, but didn't give any, and they're slowing down the process, and it costs us lives. This is why it's so fucking important to get more weapons as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's a matter of lives, and for some leaders in the world, it's just business. Unfortunately, they are having business with Russia even during this war.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they're slowing down these shipments just because they want to do business as usual.
Yeah.
They don't want to stop their profits. They don't want to adapt to a new hard reality.
Yeah, exactly.
really hard for them, because you need to destroy something that you build up for a couple of decades, working with Russia, and you need to build something new. You need to put a lot of powers into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand them.
Yeah.
Like just some person who lives far and had a huge profits from this. It's pretty understandable. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's
well,
not
that's it,
understandable.
like, as not saying it's right, it's just an unfortunate circumstance of timing of when this is happening too, with so many large nations with global trade and stuff suffering extreme economic instability due to like COVID and supply chain issues and stuff, and then going into this and now saying, oh, we know your economy's suffering, but can you volunteer to make it suffer more to help us, right? Like, it's a tough sell, right? So.
The problem is, the huge problem is, this this war destabilizes situation with crisis in the world. Yeah, so all these prices going up, going really high, the fuel prices and food prices, and they will.
Here, man. It's crazy over here already. Like fuel prices, food prices, everything is very expensive here now. Like,
yeah, in here too.
Yeah.
I guess we're the first place where prices went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting harder to live, and it's really unfortunate for all of us, for all the world.
Yeah.
But as long as this war goes, the situation with prices, with crises, will go bigger, go
worse.
harder. This is the problem, that these businesses, these countries, the situation is that they must suffer more to not suffer 10 times more in a year, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
No, definitely. And that's the thing is, because all these governments and stuff obviously hire.
You're started to disappear.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, global economists and stuff, people that work for these governments have to be aware of this kind of shit. If it's pretty obvious to someone like you or I, like the fucking bean counters know too. So there will be action, but it's just a matter of anything getting done in the government takes forever. Like, there's no emergency act in fucking in Canada because of a war in the Ukraine. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do what we can, but it's not. Our government doesn't stop what they're doing. Completely, right? And it's unfortunate, but it's just kind of, the way it is for most governments. It's like they go fucking, obviously they need to deal with this, but they're still doing other shit too. Like,
Yeah. That's the problem of global crises, because local crises doesn't go anywhere, and there need to be dealt with.
Definitely. Exactly. That's just it. But it's just the how long it takes is the problem, because it's obviously we're all, well, most of us are fucking loving humans that don't want to see people get hurt, right? Like, and want everybody to just be able to live their fucking lives, but how many people do we have to get to sign off on a piece of paper, and how many decisions have to be made down the fucking chain of every government to actually do something, right? So that's a systemic problem of just the size of governments and bureaucracy, right? Like, that's nobody can do anything because you got to fucking run it past 200 fucking people before you can get a yes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And the problem is, I guess, it's we can dream about getting the system easier and less bureaucratic, but in reality, it's not possible.
No,
it's not possible. The bureaucracy is unfortunately is something that makes the system work. So
exactly.
Yeah, this is it. Because if not this fucking bureaucracy, would be living in anarchy and some
absolutely
Mad Max reality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I want to come back to.
We're all trying to avoid here, so.
Yeah, because we're in the brink of it. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to get back to Charlie's messages, because he was active, but we went in our conversation, and it's going naturally, and we missed all the messages. He was saying, but who would be able to take power and replace Putin? Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
But also some of the people who lived in the USSR realize how poor the quality of life was. That's why they wanted a reformist like Gorbachev. Interesting theory, but yes. But they all forgot that because propaganda brainwashed them. I mean, they wanted some changes in the 80s, but when they got them, they lived through some hard years of 90s, and then when Putin came, he just started to systematically brainwash them, and he washed out all the need of changes.
Mm-hmm.
So he went back to USSR, and it's a fucking tragedy and disaster. In fact. The Baltic states in particular know they are next. Yeah, they're definitely next. Yeah, by the way, this week, Russia proclaimed that when USSR break down, the pact of Latvian sovereignty, Latvian sovereignty was proclaimed, and they said that pact, when they proclaimed their sovereignty, is not valid. So, it's void. So Russia says that they are not recognizing that pact. This is why Latvia must be taken back to their new USSR.
Just master manipulators, hey? Like, they just, they'll just tell you the sky's orange and then hit you in the head if you try and look up. Fucking ridiculous.
Okay, so they're really Theo, their decoy, said praying for you all. Thank you. So most of their let me see the word translator. Where are you? Oh, statements. Yeah, most of their statements are so ridiculous and so fucking daring, and the problem is the world doesn't react to most of those statements.
No. Yeah.
Well, the problem is they mean all that shit. And the world is saying, oh, it's just a crazy person, don't listen to him.
Yeah.
He's saying some bullshit there. But those busters, they mean that. And they will do everything to do those, to make those statements come to life in time. Maybe, maybe not in 5 years.
Man, they they say the most preposterous things and then act on it. And it's like, what? Like, crazy. Like,
yeah, that's the problem. And we're laughing right now, but it's fucking horrifying.
It is.
In fact, it's fucking Hitler and German Reich in 21st century, and the world just still, even after 3 months of this terrible war, most of the humanity didn't realize what the problem they're facing right now. No. It's not only Ukrainian problem. The problem is bigger.
Oh, absolutely.
And if we doesn't stop those bastards here and now,
yeah,
it will be a World War III, definitely.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, it's just human nature to ignore problems until you can't, right? So I mean, like, I don't even know what the solution to that is, because that's just how humans have always operated. Like, fucking, we're just gonna pretend that the bad thing isn't happening until it happens to us, and then react, right? Like, and the lack of proactivity, I think, is, well, for one, it's dragging this shit on for fucking ever, and it's only gonna cause more problems, you know? Because
it's actually, I think that this passiveness of human nature, I mean, the people ignoring all those huge problems going around the world, it's normal, because our brain works for us, for a person.
Self-preservation.
We cannot, self-preservation. So it's kind of survival mechanism, because people are really getting tired from wars, unfortunately, but it's to protect their, I forgot the word, wait a second. Their mind, let's say like that.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't tell me, because if you will be giving yourself to problems of the world all the time, you will be in a lot of stress, in a
Yeah.
lot of pressure that one human cannot bear.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Which is
it's
another
pretty
reason that we need to
nature.
all be in this together, so we don't have to bear the brunt of the weight ourselves, right? That's why
Yes,
that's
yes.
why
So
community is important.
yeah, this is very important, and we need to say all this stuff to even one or two people,
Yeah.
just just to know that it's the three of us, right?
Yeah.
Not only me.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. So our time is up for today. I think it was a great conversation today.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jed.
Always.
Uh, Charlie said "дякую," which is thank you in Ukrainian. You heard this word before.
Yeah.
I told you this one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in two or three streams, you will be even saying it yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll be trying.
So he said, thank you for answering my questions and doing this live, guys. Yep,
Of course.
Charlie, thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Thank you for watching us and being a part of this conversation, by the way.
Absolutely.
Uh, yeah, we're gonna do more of these streams. I was thinking about Sunday, if you will be available, because that
Yeah.
Sunday was a bigger number of people when we
Yeah.
were doing it
Yeah.
Sunday.
Totally. Yeah. So we should move into that.
So
And also, if you want to figure out a way to, we can do these on Twitch if that's a better platform as well, right?
definitely, the
We'll just
problem
figure
is
out.
I currently don't have powers in me to go through all those OBS stuff,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
Uh, I still have some work to do, some war news to go through, and I'm looking for a new apartment. So this is something not hard to do, but a lack of time, and
No,
I
for
cannot
sure.
switch
Yeah. No,
to
no rush on it.
Twitch.
But whenever we can move the streams to there and
Yeah,
whatever. Because
I will.
like you said, it'll be a bit more interactive too, with you being able to share things on your screen and stuff like that, right? So.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And Twitch is a streaming platform, and it
Exactly.
suits for streaming better than IG. And
Yeah.
people
Totally.
usually don't go to IG to watch lives. They
No,
usually go to Twitch for that.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Totally.
yes, if you do it on Twitch, you must tell me when you are going live, as I don't have Twitch notifications. Okay, Charlie, easy. I will also do it in my story in here and on Instagram, and I will get in touch with you personally too.
Yeah.
Okay, great, Jet. Thank you very much, man.
Of course.
Uh, we're
Always a
gonna.
pleasure, Rick. And yeah, we'll talk soon. We'll figure out. I think I can do Sunday next week, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. I should
Yeah,
be
okay,
able.
okay, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
If not Sunday, Saturday will do too.
Yeah, but yeah, I
So
agree though that the Sunday stream last week, was it last week? I think it was. That we did Sunday, but yeah, we had more people, more engagement too, so that's better.
two
2 weeks.
weeks ago,
2 weeks. Okay.
yeah,
I don't even know
Sunday
what's
was.
happening anymore.
Yeah, it's really hard in this
Uh,
fast world. Okay,
exactly.
Jet, it's been a great one. Slava
Absolutely.
Ukraini.
Glory to heroes.
Yes, this will do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Bye, Charlie. Have a good night. Thank you, Charlie. You have a good night too. And Jet, have a good day. See
Absolutely.
you in a week. Have a great
Absolutely,
week,
man. We'll
everyone.
talk before then. Okay.
Yeah, bye.